All right, welcome back, mates. Good morning. Welcome to Ballers, all Oracle Disciples, Crypto Leverage Trading Group. We are in the BitSeven trading platform. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We are getting off and running this morning, a little bit after 8 a.m. I hope everybody caught the market analysis last night in the free trading community Discord, which should have prepared you and set you up for the two basic paths of what we're watching right now happen to Bitcoin. Remember, we talked about how obviously we usually get our FOMO Saturday, our low volume Saturday, and then we get into profit taking and a little bit of a backdraft on Sunday, which occurred. But we also got a little bit more of a pump than probably what many have expected, from Friday. But really what we talked about and what I try to convey to everybody is, we really had two, really track A and track B. And what Bitcoin is doing right now is track A, which is kind of like what was really expected because of the pattern and what Bitcoin has continued to do. And that's fill the gaps, okay? And these gaps are created in a sense. Oftentimes, Bitcoin gets overextended, Bitcoin gets overbought, rising RSIs, whether it's the weekly, the monthly, the day, it depends on what your parameter or time frame that you're looking at. In correlation to, say, futures prices, open interest, short interest. And a lot of times those gaps in that pricing have to be filled. And that's the basic. There's obviously a lot of depth to it, a lot more technicality to it. But as a beginner, you just want to understand that a lot of times Bitcoin has to fall to fill those gaps for those orders and then resume its ascent. Okay, that's plan A. Okay, track A, right? Track B would be leave the gap behind, ignore the gap, and continue to FOMO higher, new price discovery above 60,000, continue to go on. Now, the danger in that scenario is a much bigger 30-40% correction, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. It's just my opinion. However, filling the gap, and that gap is that 55,000, 56,000 level. Again, in my opinion. And that's what we're getting. Is we're filling the gap now before the open. It's 8:10 Eastern Standard Time in the US where I'm at. Gotta wait for this coffee to kick in. Where I am at, okay? Markets don't open until 9:30. And yes, when I say that, I usually get messages like, has nothing to do with the markets. Crypto's 24/7. When you say closing day, end of day, that doesn't make any sense because crypto's 24/7. Yeah, I get it. Crypto's 24/7. It's still correlated. The Bitcoin is correlated to the S&P, to the Dow. Okay, get over it, and it will break. Okay, at some point, I've no doubt, but it is still highly correlated to the stock market. In the same manner in which altcoins are highly correlated to Bitcoin. They react to Bitcoin, okay? They react. That Bitcoin is the rock in which we break all altcoins against, okay? The centralized financial community is the rock in which we break Bitcoin oftentimes against, okay? So you just need to accept that, all right? Remember, all these institutions now that are in the cryptocurrency space, in the cryptoverse, okay, are also all into equities, bonds, derivatives, futures, options, okay, swaps, you name it, okay? That's called, finance, okay? And us in the cryptoverse are into decentralized finance, otherwise known as DeFi, okay? So they're still correlated, okay? So you want to just keep an eye on those things, okay? So what filling the gap is a normal thing. That's what we're having. It's an opportunity to enter into a 5, 10, 240 up, because you're going to come in here at the 55,000 to 55,300 on our exchange right now. You can enter in. What will happen in the next few hours is we're going to test 55,000. Maybe we move into the 54,000. I don't believe we go any lower than that. And then you're ready to go for the spring. That's what we're having. What I mean by spring, I don't mean springtime. I mean the spring, okay? Because right now what's happening when we fill this gap, it's like if you take your fingers, your thumb and your first finger, and you push together and then boom, release it. That's what's going to happen to Bitcoin. I see 68,000 before we see anything else after this. Easily, I think 65 on the low end, 68 on the high end. On Friday the 19th, we've got CME. We got more futures coming